Yes, we're back.
All right. This is going to be the greatest episode ever. But before we get into it, I have to point out in the last episode when I talked about the breakup that I'm going through, which has been really painful because the woman she's amazing. She's also an incredible artist. She's one of the best tattoo artists on the planet. She created our logo for Beardo and Wierdo, this really cool logo. And when I broke the news to Chris, I want you to see how long it takes for Chris's sympathy to turn in a different direction. I'm going to play in real time how Chris reacted to me telling him I had a terrible, terrible, terrible time in Hawaii. All right, let's roll the tape. Hawaii, where my girlfriend and I broke up.
Shut up.
In Hawaii.
No way.
And it only gets worse from there.
Nuh-uh.
And I needed to talk to you.
Shut up.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
for real.
For real.
Oh, look at me being a fucking dick. No way.
And I was trying to reach out to you to say, hey, man, I need some time to think about this before I actually talk about it.
Uh-huh.
And you weren't replying. And I was like, and then the prices kept going up. And I was like, fuck, you know what? I'll just go into Vegas. We'll just do this. And then I'll fly out from there.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
Did you get copyright on the fucking logo so we can still use that?
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
That's right, Craig, because I realized that I, too, had gone through a breakup and I gave it way too much time, much more time than it deserved mentally in this headspace. So I was encouraging you, time to get to business. Let's get moving. Let's get working. Make sure that copyright's good. So I don't
20 seconds.
I don't recall you answering, though. Are we cool there?
Oh, man. Dude, are you okay? Oh, shit. Are we good on this logo? Are we like...
I didn't want everything to fall apart.
Yeah.
You know?
Look, I understand business. We're on the road. I'm doing shows in Ocean City, Maryland in May, the night before the Boardwalk Festival with Def Leppard and Alice in Chains and the Struts and Everclear and Nickelback. I'll be performing in Ocean City, Maryland. Chris and I are doing some comedy shows together. All the dates are at getgas.com, getgas.com with 2 S's. There are a handful of legendary speeches that have been ranked as the best speeches in the world.
Number 1,
Martin Luther King,
yes.
I Have a Dream.
Yes. That's the first one I was going to go for.
Mel Gibson's They Won't Take Our Freedom.
The guy from Fox News. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it
live. But man, there has never been a speech more honest and that resonates more. I've been going through such a tough time emotionally, genuinely. When I'm alone at the end of the day, my thoughts start spinning and I go, what the fuck? And I'm genuinely hurting. One man has put a smile on my face and has helped me get through it.
A hardcore legend.
A hardcore legend. His name, praise this name, is Casey Shaw, who joins us now.
Yes!
Casey Shaw, who gave this speech, can we play this speech so we can let the audience know what we're talking about? Casey, how long ago was this show?
This is about 10 years ago.
10 years ago. And not the band that you're in now.
No, this band's been broken up for probably 9 years.
10 years.
Maybe 8. Yeah, pretty much.
The day after this video.
All right.
When I was 15 years old, I started my first fucking job. Like many of you motherfuckers probably did too. Except mine was a little more fucked up. I worked at something called a horse insemination plant. Every goddamn day, I would get up in the morning and I'd go to this fucking barn and I'd have to walk down a line with a horse on either goddamn side of me. These horses were fully erect.
Oof.
And I had to grasp in each hand a throbbing horse cock and rub it until completion and collect it in a fucking jar. This motherfucker who owned this place was selling this shit for $1 million a fucking gallon, and I was getting paid $4 a goddamn hour.
Ugh.
There are 3 motherfucking people in this goddamn world.
Yes.
3.
Yes.
There's the man who owns the horse.
Yes.
And gets the money. There's the man who has the money and gets the horse.
Yes.
And there's us. Me, you. We jack off the fucking horses.
Wait, what?
We get
Stop.
nothing.
Fuck.
Now fuck this shit open, this pit!
Burn this place down. Wow.
Yes!
God
Inspiration here on a
damn,
Saturday
Casey.
morning in Las Vegas.
Holy shit. Did that go viral right away?
Not even close.
When did it start going viral?
Year and a half ago or 2.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I work with Howard Stern, and Howard played it one morning when I was sitting in with him, and I was like, holy shit, this is incredible. I don't know if Richard had found it. Is that the first time you hear about it? Is from the Howard Stern show that it's starting to get out there?
No, a friend of mine, the guy that filmed it, actually, his name's Sonny. He does Hate 5-6. It just goes all over the place and films hardcore shows.
Okay.
He posted it in response to something that somebody else posted, and then it started popping up everywhere. Like all the like metal news websites and stuff like that were posting it, and then Howard got a hold of it, and it blew up even further.
And what kind of, well, first of all, in that moment, when that speech goes out, was that a speech that you were telling every night, or was that something you just told that night?
Just hanging on to it, waiting for it.
That was probably the, like, if that band played 100 shows, that was the 100th time that I did that speech.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
The thing is, we all relate to having a bad job.
Yeah.
Everyone relates to having a bad job.
Now, where were you when you were working that horse insemination plant?
Here, I'll give you guys the truth.
Okay.
Which is that there was I lied to Wolfie when I talked to him for Howard Stern, because I kept the bit going with him, but I like you guys. I'll give you the truth.
All right.
There
I was working at FedEx, not at a farm or anything like that.
Really?
And there are nuggets of truth.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we would ship these big mushroom shaped containers that looked like big old penises.
Yeah.
Very fitting.
And everything had a little shipping label attached to it and a little invoice. And some of those were just vials of horse cum. They were being shipped in these big containers.
Okay.
And they had to declare the value. And some of them were $100,000 just for the little vial of cum. And
Whoa.
There's the title. Little vial of cum.
Little vial of cum. And so that's where the origin of that actually comes from. Like, I was getting paid next to nothing to move these little vials of cum around.
Uh-huh.
But
Well, dude, when your speech gets out there into the universe, then everyone starts commenting, going, well, wait a second.
This 15?
Yeah, 15. I mean, your voice hasn't even cracked yet. You're sitting there going, man, this fucking job blows.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Why am I jerking off these horses all day? God damn it. I need to go back to school. This
Ship
is
those
terrible.
horses right off to Epstein Island after
Yeah,
their
you think it'd
service
be
there.
a grown man would jag off the horses, but even that guy's coming home at night going, Sheila, I just walked in the door. I've been jacking off horses all day. Can you give me 5 minutes to get off of this?
He gets home and his girlfriend's like, baby, how was work? He goes, oh, nothing but dick.
Dude, that speech is so fucking inspiring. It's such we've all had bad jobs. We all know what it's like to have a terrible job. And then, like, you start thinking through these vials that you saw and they're worth how much per vial?
like, they had $10,000 price tags on them, $100,000 price tags on them.
All depends on the
Million
taste.
is an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Different tastes is all it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's
And then, by the way, at 15, are you playing yet? Are you playing in bands? Are you doing stuff with like hardcore bands yet at that point?
15. I'm like picking up a bass and trying to figure it out, trying to get started.
Because I'm thinking, you get one of those vials of horse cum and you got a bass, you got a rig, you can go on tour.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you got a band.
Dude, I mean, there's so like that much value in something like that. I mean, bands would you think Kiss would sell horse cum. Go to kissonline.com and you can get your own Ace Frehley horse cum right now.
$5,000. And the Gene Simmons cum, $20,000.
Click on the Kentucky Derby logo and get yourself some Kiss horse cum. Yeah, dude, that kind of so you were working at FedEx when you saw that these vials would be worth so much. How long did you work at FedEx for?
I worked there about 5 years in the warehouse doing moving the vials, and then drove for a while after that.
Nice.
Didn't have to do the vials as much, except there were human vials at that point because my route had a fertility clinic on it, so I had a
Really
decent amount of the same mushroom shaped things, but they were clearly not horse samples.
Right. So one thing I've learned about becoming friends with musicians is that when you have 4 or 5 guys in a group, not everybody's on the same page all the time. It's really tough to get everybody moving in the same direction. So when you start giving the horse speech, I jacked off horses and I only made $4 an hour. Are there guys in your band like, dude, can we change that around at all? Do we have to do the horse come speech?
We were all like 20 and 21 when I came up with that one.
Yeah.
And that's the only speech that I've ever like practiced in the rehearsal space before taking it out to the show. And they were all just as excited as I was. Like we're trying to practice, but I keep trying to practice this stupid speech instead of everybody playing the songs that we need to practice for this big gig that's coming up.
That's like stand-up comedians who like, people like stand in front of a mirror and just learn how to like, hey, I'm going to hold the microphone like this. No, I'm going to hold it like this. And like,
so I got a question for you. You were in that band for how long?
That band was probably 4 or 5 years.
Okay. So in that 4 or 5 years, out of that time you spent with that band, are you more proud collectively of the songs that you wrote in that band or that speech? Which one?
The songs are terrible from that band. So the speech.
That's right.
I'm
you
so
heard it
glad
first.
you said that, Casey, because do you know how many people in this viral video right now are going, hey, man, how about you credit the band?
Yeah.
Give them some credit. And Casey's like, I don't even want to credit the band.
Yes,
Fuck these guys.
Don't listen to that band. That band was bad.
By the way, did you pick up on the fact that Casey said they were all working on songs and he was working on the speech? Like the guy's like, hey, what should we do here? Hold on, I got my you jack off horses, you jack off horses, you jack. Casey, we got to finish this song, and then I jack off the horses. I'm not. Listen, this is for you. We jack off.
I picture him in the practice space going, okay, horse cock. What word do I use to describe horse cock? We're going with throbbing horse cock.
The whole band's working on a song. He's in the bathroom going, let's see, trickle down economic. No, let me see. Let me get
trickle down.
I can't even go to Philly anymore because the word triggers me. No.
American healthcare system.
Yeah, you jack off. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you jack off. You jack off. We jack off the horses. By the way, in that video, you can see at least one guy going, what? And would you notice that when you would give the speech that people would go, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, it would always start as like when I get to the 15, started my first job, that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I talk about it's at a horse insemination plant, that's where people start getting a little weird look on their face. And then when I start really detailing the daily operations at the job, people start feeling real weird. But then when I get to the you and break down the whole class consciousness about it, they start moshing like crazy. They're like, you can see there's a couple people in the video that have already hopped up to stage dive.
Yeah.
And the band's already starting to feed back and jump around and stuff. But then when that song would hit, that was always our best reaction was for that song. And it's I don't think it was because of the track being so fire.
Dude, Casey, there's no question at that moment, the ramp up has all the feeling of like, you, and people are like, yeah, and they want to get started, they want to get that pit going, but there's a couple people going, wait, what? What the fuck? Are we jacking off horses? Wait a minute, I can't. My mom needs to pick me up here in an hour. I can't jack off a horse at the show.
I'm a barista, for Christ's sake.
I do something different.
I need a shoehorn or something. I can't. What the fuck?
And you got that one guy in the back going, wait a minute. That's a job?
That's a job.
Where do I apply?
Awesome.
$4 an hour? Where do I go for that?
Yeah, warming up their jaw.
Yeah.
I'm going
I'll
extra
do it
mile.
for
I don't
free,
need hands.
man.
So you gave that speech multiple times. Multiple times you would do that speech, and it would get the crowd fired up. But nobody in that band would say to you, dude, come on, man. Like, nobody had any negative reaction to, like, can you rework it?
No, they helped me out with it. Eventually, this was probably the second to last time that I did that exact speech besides our last show. Because at that point, I've done it a bunch of times, and we started getting bored with it. And I came up with a couple other ones where I was getting the similar message across, but
can we please hear those? Can we please hear those?
The only one that I remember well was about working at a civet coffee factory, which is that coffee that you feed to this exotic cat, and the cat shits out the beans, and then you have to dig the beans out and make the coffee with the cat shit beans.
White people got way too much money. White people have way too much money.
I love that Casey's already come up with a stairway to heaven, and he's like, well, maybe if I let me see if I can find another nugget over here. Yep. He's already come up with the classic speech, and he's trying to think like, well, if that works so well, let me see if I can. There's got to be something with cat shit, right?
Now, are you using this cat shit rant on stage with your band Apex Predator currently?
Nah, Apex Predator. I mean, I say a bunch of dumb shit with Apex Predator, but it's a lot less rehearsed. It's a lot less thought out beforehand. It's
more from the heart,
more
jazz.
Yeah. But it's all stupid.
By the way, Chris, as another musician, do you relate to that, to where you might pre-plan stuff out and then later you just kind of learn to just go with the flow with stuff, like what Casey's saying? Yeah,
there are certain cues that a vocalist will do. That way we all know, hey, the song's getting ready to come up right now.
Yep.
But it's important. You'll travel and see bands playing, 2 or 3 shows in a row. Mm-hmm. Your favorite bands out there, and if they're doing the exact same thing, you're like, come on. Yeah, this is, it's rock and roll. Let's pick it up a little bit and free flow a little bit. It doesn't have to be all so planned. But when you got lighting and stage cues and all that stuff, that's you definitely start to lean on some of the cues that the lead singer will do for you.
So Casey, when you look at the comments from people, like everyone around the world's commenting on these videos of you, are there any that really stand out that just made you laugh your ass off?
The main comments that I see are the ones you were talking about, where everybody's like, tag the fucking band, tag the guy, tag the band. And it's like, the band's over. Who cares?
Yeah.
See, you all heard that from the horsecock's mouth over here. The band is done. We didn't tag him. We apologize, but we went that extra mile, much like he did in his FedEx story there.
That extra
mile.
My favorite comments are the people who go, dude, you're 15. You could have worked at McDonald's. You wanted to jack off those horses. I mean, hearing Casey tell the whole story makes me feel better about the whole thing, because I'm like, God damn, man, this poor guy was fucking traumatized, and we're going to have him come on and tell a story and have some laughs. I hope he's been able to get some therapy.
And see, growing up in Kentucky, I had a different perspective. There are tons of like thoroughbred farms there in Kentucky. And all I'm thinking is like, yeah, he was 15. That sounds like a Kentucky summer job. Yeah, that's what we did. At least he's getting paid for it.
Dude, absolutely amazing, man. I mean, you go to concerts, and there's certain things that are just stuck in my head growing up and listening to music, like Klaus Main from the Scorpions going, "You see these microphones in the air, California," which, by the way, Klaus Main on the last residency shows here in Las Vegas said one of the most hilarious things. It was so honest. He came out on stage. I find out later that Klaus Main's been having a lot of health problems, which has prevented them from touring. I didn't know that. But he goes, Las Vegas, how are you tonight? And the place went, and he goes, yeah, me, not so good. What the fuck? Really? Why would you say that? Like, that's a terrible...
Getting the crowd on your side, man.
But I'm coming...
Just like the class warfare over here.
Dude.
Same thing.
The world is not a fun place. I'm coming to this show. Exactly. I'm coming to see you to get an escape. So for you to be like, how you doing? Well, my wife, she left, so I'm not so good.
I apologize if I just drag my ass across the carpet tonight, but Here's where I
Dude,
am.
Iron Maiden, scream for me, long bitch. And now I'm doing kind of like a half Klaus Main as I do it. But Paul Stanley, famous for like, all right, let me hear from you crazy maniacs in the back, you know?
How many of y'all been out there jerking off horses and came in here for an escape?
How great would it be if I know that Paul Stanley has a great sense of humor. I know from bands that he's toured with who have said, we would actually give Paul Stanley phrases and say, all right, here's a phrase. You got to work it into your stage rap. Because I guess it all started from Paul Stanley saying, I can say anything on stage and get people to cheer.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, all right. And they said, tonight, you got to figure out a way to use the word diaper fight. You got to say the words diaper fight on stage and get people to cheer. And he goes, I can do that. And he went out on stage. He goes, all right, people, at the end of like the first 3 songs, he goes, all right, everybody calm down. Let's not get in a diaper fight right away. And everyone's like, yeah. And he goes, wait a minute, what was that?
Yeah. Speaking of which, that might be your next project right there.
Diaper
fight.
Diaper fight.
If not, I might take that one for the side project. Let's go.
All right, all you people, you guys ready to rock and roll? How many like some cold gin? You, we jack off the horses. Wait, what? What the fuck? Casey, this band that you're in right now, Apex, what is the name of the band?
Apex Predator.
Apex Predator. Where do we find this music?
Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, everywhere. I hope we're the first one that comes up for Apex Predator. When I search it, we are, but
It is.
I think my algorithm's biased.
Yeah, it's got a kind of like an old school I hate vibe or I hate God vibe to it.
Oh, that's sick. Thank you.
Loved it. It was good.
Yeah, we got a lot of Crowbar influence too, so that makes sense.
Yes, Kirk.
Right on.
Yeah.
The king of the riff.
And then what website can we find? Is there one singular website that everybody can go to find information about the band?
Yeah, well, Twitter and Instagram, X, sorry.
For Apex Predator.
Yeah, it's Apex Predator HC on Twitter and Apex Predator NWHC on Instagram. I'm really bad at unifying all of those things.
That's all right. And then you guys have dates coming up where? This episode's going out right away in a couple of days. So.
Yeah, Apex Predator is going to be on tour around the Midwest. It's actually starting in Louisville, out to Tied Down Fest in Detroit, and then down the East Coast. That starts in the middle of May and goes through the middle of June. So we got info on that on our socials and everything.
Right on. I think that this speech will continue to be found by people, and there'll be new audiences continuing to discover it, because it just like I first heard about it through Howard like a year and a half ago whenever he brought it up on the show, and it just seems to every so often just kind of be reborn to a new audience, right? Like,
yeah, it pops up every once in a while.
Yeah.
And I got to say thank you to you guys, because this is the first time that it's ever connected actually to my current work. It's always just been like, there's this viral thing going on, but it's not really gonna help me at all. It's funny that so many people are seeing this. A lot of people don't know it's me. Like, people, when you guys posted, that was actually one of the first times that I've posted the video on my own socials. Nice. And I got about 100 messages from friends being like, I had no idea that was you.
Really?
Oh man.
From your own friends? Dude, I think this will continue on and on. I want to see this worked into a movie, the story of Casey Shaw.
And I think most importantly, I hope that Casey Shaw's speech inspires other vocalists to step up your game. Step up your game. This is marketing. He did this 10 years ago, and it's helping his career right now.
It honestly, like, I just remember the first time hearing it and going like, holy shit. It was just so honest. And so,
or so we thought.
So we thought. True,
it is rooted in a lie.
That's right there.
Rooted in a lie.
Artistry at its best, right there. We got pulled in, much like those cocks got pulled in.
But everybody's had a bad job. Everyone's had a bad job, which is why I think that fucking thing resonates, and why I think like years from now, I just hope that Morgan Freeman is still alive to narrate the life of Casey Shaw. And
let's give us a little taste of that there, Mr. Craig Gass.
Casey was only 15, but he knew he had made some bad decisions.
My, oh my. I love when you do that one.
My, oh my. These horse cocks are not going to jerk themselves off.
Now in Morgan Freeman's voice, encourage the watchers and listeners at home to go check out Apex Predator.
if you have any decency, for laughing at this poor man's circumstances. You will go to find Apex Predator and pull your pants up, son. Get yourself a job.
Well, thank you very, very much, Casey. Is there anything else that you want to plug or say before we get out of here with you?
Nah, this was great. I appreciate you guys a lot. Yeah, I mean, check out Apex Predator if you like hardcore, if you like Crowbar, if you like Hate Breed. Those are our main influences. So
Very nice.
Love Hate Breed.
You know.
Good friends. We're
Yeah.
both friends with Jamie and
Chris
and
Beatty,
Jamie.
all those guys. That's been one of my favorite bands to tour with, and one of my longest lasting friendships of interband relationships is with the guys in Hate Breed. Love those dudes.
they're
So,
awesome.
Yeah,
Hell
Jamie
of
actually has a great podcast that I've been on. I'd love to connect you with Jamie too. So
Oh, there we go.
there
Hey.
you go.
Hey, I wouldn't say no.
All right, you got it,
You
man.
heard it first, Jamie. Call
Thank-
us.
Thank you, Casey. I will see you, man, and thanks for joining us here on the show, buddy.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the shows this weekend as well. Thank you.
They'll be great.
Man, I love that guy. Holy shit, that is cool.
All right, I'm peacing out.
All right,
right,
man. I'll see you, Casey.
See you, buddy.
Later.
Man, I can't believe it wasn't all entirely true that he just took like a seedling, so to speak.
We got hoodwinked.
Yeah, we got hoodwinked into fucking thinking that
Yep.
was a real fucking story, and the shit went crazy
Yep.
viral, and people are just like accepted it at face value.
Yep. Much like that story, we got jerked off.
Yeah,
Yep.
that reminds me of.
Oh boy.
I know Matthew hates it when I hit the table too, but
He's not here today though. Hi, Matt.
yeah.
Edit it, boy.
It reminds me of Gilbert Gottfried got in trouble with the was it the Emmys? I think it was the Emmys. He got banned from the Emmys. I'm still crying about that speech. He got banned from the Emmys because he did it was right after Pee Wee Herman got arrested, and he went up on the Emmys and did a masturbation joke, and that got him banned from the Emmys. And then he went on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno to tell a story. And Jay Leno delicately tries to go into the story and say, I heard that you got in trouble with the Emmys, and he goes, yes, I did some masturbation jokes, and they jerked me right off the show. They just yanked me up, and it was like, holy shit! Like Jay Leno was trying to like go in it in a delicate way, and Gilbert just smashed the whole fucking thing.
Yep.
Holy shit. I don't even know how to recover from having Casey on. How's your week been? What's been going on? How are you doing with the breakup right now?
I'm good now. Things are good.
Yeah.
I think I realized I was trying to work on a bit about it actually, that at the age of 50, with the successes I've had, I realized I don't really need a partner. But you know what I need with so many people around all the time? Some fucking silence.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Holy shit.
So yeah, the house is quiet, settling in with my own thoughts. I've been incredibly productive. Continuing to work on my daily gratitude list, my morning routine, performing my first full 20 minutes with Rick Diaz at Wise Guys, April 11th.
shit.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm doing a full 20 minutes. That way I'm able to stretch out a little bit.
Dude, that's coming up this week.
Yeah.
You know what's
a week
weird?
from yesterday.
When you see this episode, right when it drops, you'll be performing at Wise Guys in Las Vegas with Rick Diaz.
Yep.
And then that Sunday, you and I and Hal Sparks and Courtney Cronin and Don Jameson are all performing at John Bon Jovi's place in Nashville.
And if you come out to that show in Nashville, April 13th, that will also be the first time that my dad is coming out to see stand-up comedy.
way.
Yep. And the drummer from my original band way back in the day, a friend of mine named Paul,
shit.
they're all coming out and supporting that weekend.
Dude,
So,
is there any weirdness when you a guy you used to play with? Like you hear about guys that play college football together,
Mhm.
and the dream is make money playing football. We love football so much we want to make money.
Yeah.
One guy goes, all his friends are like, is there a weirdness from your friend that you used to play with? I'm putting you on the spot right now.
if I don't think that I definitely have never felt that from like the real circle of friends. I'm sure it probably happens, outside the circle, like, oh, Mr. fucking Big Shot or whatever. It's like, But I've had incredible support from the entire state of Kentucky at rock shows and whatnot. It's been wonderful. Like when we go back to play Rupp Arena in Lexington, it's the college basketball arena that I always aspired to play in. And the last time that we played there, I remember being up in the hotel looking down at the club that I played in front of probably less than 15 people before, 20, 30 years ago.
What
when I
club is
left.
that? Do you want to mention it?
Yeah, it's called the Rockledge. It was an all ages club in Lexington, Kentucky back in the day, but it's long since gone out of.
I didn't know if you wanted to mention if the owner was, didn't pay you. Or
Oh, no.
I remember seeing a band.
He came up on that $12 pretty quick. It was he paid pretty quick.
Oh man, there was a band that I saw. I want to say it was the Lumineers opening for U2 in Washington D.C. And he said, the last time we were here, we played at a club called blah, blah, blah. And the crowd went, and he goes, no, don't cheer. They didn't pay us. Those guys are dicks. And I went, yeah. Like as a comedian who has to deal with like shitty club owners, I was like, that is so cool. You're on a stadium stage saying, fuck that guy.
Speaking of dealing with club owners or whatnot, I want to say thank you for working on all these dates that we're working on, getting us out of town. Productively taking these breakups and all this free time that we've got, occupying your time productively by doing, this podcast, booking shows. It's freeing for me. I don't know where you're at. Where are you on your breakup right now?
I question everything. Everything. I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing.
Death Punch song, question everything, so that we can get some 0.00001 cents on the dollar. Thank you.
I question everything because I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking back and I'm going over it and over it in my head and thinking like, should I call her? And I'm like, she's got to be thinking that she should call me, right? She's got to be.
It's the worst. That back and forth, having that conversation in your head with someone who's no longer there, it will drive you crazy. It definitely drove me crazy for a little bit, but stepping back now, I'm feeling pretty good.
I think the toughest thing is that there was, it was always very respectful. I've been in a relationship where it's just easy to be like, oh, fuck this bitch. I'm out, I know that a lot of people have been in relationships like that, but when it's a healthy relationship that's not working, that's really tough because you feel like, shit, man, I wonder, but yeah, I'm left with a lot of questions and, but
have you begun working on the stuff that she pointed out that resonated with you? You're like, oh yeah, like
absolutely.
She's right. I need to.
And it's like, and I have all the time in the world to do it. So, because there was
me not answering phone calls and whatnot. Yeah, all the time in the world.
That was the funniest thing was seeing your reaction in last week's episode.
Yeah. I like that Natalie, my ex-wife from,
Yeah, when we posted the episode and it's last week's episode is like, hey, dude, pick up my call. I'm your friend. You got to pick up my call. We put out a highlight, and underneath the highlight of me saying, dude, you need to pick up the phone when your friends call, your ex made a comment and said, I'll pick up the phone. Call me, Craig. And then you replied to her saying, this is true.
100% the truth. She is one that you can always call, will always be there, is always not exactly the the most gentle of responses when you're going through some shit sometimes, but she will keep it real and highlight your bullshit.
That's the thing is that people who love you will tell you the truth.
Yep.
And it won't be pretty, but they tell you because they care about you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And them telling us highlight stuff that we're not even aware of, that then we are now aware of those things and able to focus on those. And if you have too much of a negative reaction to some of that stuff, it's definitely true. It's definitely true.
Yeah. It's like the John Dolmayan story. I told you the John Dolmayan story, right?
Not sure.
About, you know what? Maybe I told it on Brian Slagle's thing. John Dolmayan is the drummer for System of a Down. I did a show one night. Ozfest was in New York with a day off. So all the bands are in town. And I did a comedy show at a club. It was me, Jim Brewer, a couple other comedians did a show. And a bunch of Ozfest bands came down. This doesn't ring a bell?
A little bit, yes.
So there'd be a table that would just be one whole band, Seven Dust. Another table, Disturbed. Another whole table, it's all System of a Down, like the band and their crew guys, whatever. I went up and for whatever reason, I tried out some new shit and didn't work. I fucking ate it. And I get off stage like, God, dude. Man, I bombed in front of all my favorite artists and friends. I went to all the tables before I walked out of the club, and I went to the Seven Dust table and I said, hey guys, sorry about that. Everyone at the Seven Dust table was like, oh dude, you're funny, man. And I go, no, I'm not. I go to the Disturbed table. I go, hey guys, sorry about that. That was pretty bad. And they go, no, dude, you killed it. And I go, no, I didn't. I go to the System of a Down table and I go, hey guys, sorry you had to see that. John Dolmayan stands up and he goes, come here, let's take a walk. I go, what? He goes, let's go outside. I go, what? And he takes me outside, turns around and goes, you want to know why you sucked? I'll tell you exactly why you sucked. First of all, dude, we all love your impressions.
Mhm.
Where the fuck are your impressions? I go, well, I wanted to try something different. He goes, why? He goes, we love impressions.
Yep.
You're the best. Why are you not doing impressions? Secondly, he went through my whole set and he nailed everything that I already knew in my head I did wrong.
Mhm.
He saw all of it crystal clear. And I was like, and he said, dude, I'm not telling this to you to hurt your feelings. I'm telling this because I love you and you're one of my favorite comedians. And he proved it, by the way, a couple years later when he called me up and said, I want you to open for System of a Down.
Nice.
And he said, you're one of my favorite comedians. And I want you to be the biggest comedian in the world.
Mhm.
I'm not going to do that by like lying to you and going, oh yeah, man, good job, dude. I'm gonna help you get there by telling you the truth. And I was like, shit. From that moment on, every time I'm in a situation where I'm going to do a roast, or I'm going to do something new on the Howard Stern show, I'm going to do just anything that's outside my comfort zone where I don't have an opportunity to test this material out, I call John Dolmayan
Oh, nice.
and I go, hey, dude, I'm going to do this roast. And he'd be like, okay. And I'm like, I want to read these jokes to you. And he'll go, ha! Oh, shit, that's good. And then every once in a while he'll go, nah, that sucks.
Yeah.
And I go,
That's good.
all right. I go, how about this?
Mhm.
And he'll tell me the truth. And I get an honest opinion from, by the way, that same guy, he's got a story.
When, he lives here in Vegas. We need to reach out to him.
He does have a place here in Vegas. He also
Mhm.
has a comic book place here in
Yep.
Vegas. He's I don't know. He said he wants me to come to South America with the band to do, they're going to have a party for the road crew. And I'm like, oh, he goes, yeah, dude. He goes, if I fly you to South America, will you perform for the road crew? We're going to have a party. And I
Nice.
go, yeah, man. And so I'm waiting to hear back from him about that. But he has an amazing story about, it's actually one of the other guys in his band. They were invited to a house to listen to a new album that was coming out by some other friends. And they say, hey, we're having this listening party. So they went and listened to the album. And it was a bunch of fellow musicians, music industry people. And the party ends, and then everybody's walking by and saying, great, this is going to be killer. Greatest album we've ever done,
Mhm.
right?
Much like that horsecock story. Just everybody jerking each other off.
Everybody's
the whole
jerking each
time.
other off.
Yep, see? It's a callback, people. It's a callback. I got this.
But everybody's kissing the band's ass. And then somebody says to John, and it's John and Chavo, somebody says, John, you haven't, I noticed you haven't said anything yet. John Dolmayan says, you want me to be honest, bro?
Which the correct answer is no, never. When it's delivered with that much of a oomph to it, no, just do yourself a favor, politely say no, and walk away.
Oh, dude. I fucking love John Dolmayan because of that kind of honesty. And it's a rare type of honesty.
Absolutely.
I
I don't feel that I have that in me. I'm very much like the massage and the ego. Like, no, man, it's cool. Like, yeah.
I'll be
And
honest.
trying to find silver linings in some of the bad stuff, but without actually like
Yeah,
being that forward.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't think I have that in me either.
Mm.
But I do find that there's some people I feel like I got to talk to this person. I really got to, especially if it's like drug addiction.
For sure.
If I see, like, that's how you and I bonded years and years ago. Like, we kind of knew each other in a peripheral way because I was friends with another guy in your band.
Mhm.
And then over time, we would hang and have these great hangs. But it was when you started talking about drug addiction online that I was like, oh shit, hey dude, I'm in the same boat. And a couple things you should not be doing right now.
Right,
And
exactly.
I remember having those conversations.
Yeah.
But I just love honesty from people. So this weekend we're going to be doing shows in Nashville and John Bon Jovi's, and it's not just us. It's us, Don Jameson, Courtney Cronin, Hal Sparks, and it's going to be an amazing show. Your dad's going to come down. He's never seen you do stand-up.
He has not. No, he's been there every step along the way, from high school like talent shows to playing 15 people at the Rockledge to Rock on the Range. The very first time I ever got to play that with Five Finger Death Punch, and this is his. His first time seeing me, hopefully in front of more than 15 people in Nashville. But you know what? Even if it is just 15 people, whether 15 or 15,000, I'm there to give it my all.
You know what? I do got to say, I've seen videos of John Bon Jovi's place. It's one of those bars on Broadway, right?
Yes, Broadway's the main street right there.
It's one of those
Nashville.
bars where all these insanely talented country musicians will perform and do covers all night long. And the staging for John Bon Jovi's is like an arena stage. It's got tiers to it. So there's like a drum kit on like a third or fourth floor, and then you can actually walk down. I've never been on a stage like that, by the way.
Nice.
I've never been. I have been. I guess I have been on some.
Yeah, you opened up for Metallica and stuff.
Yeah, and Motley Crue. Well, Metallica was in a 1,000 seat venue called Bowery Ballroom in New York City.
Nice.
Motley Crue was on an arena stage. System of a Down was on an arena stage.
So you're a liar, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I guess I can't think of. Wow, I don't remember those stages having like tiers like that. And doing stand-up comedy, I would not be walking around on those tiers doing stand-up. But I feel like in a smaller venue like John Bon Jovi's, where it looks like multiple tiers on a club stage, that I might be more prone to.
I feel like welcome to Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Laugh.
Has your dad ever given you critical feedback at all at shows? Oh boy!
So,
wow, I didn't even expect that sharp of a response.
So we were just talking about honesty from those that we love.
Oh no!
So back when I was
Dad, what are you doing?
When I was about 19, I had long blonde hair, kind of like Jeff Hanneman.
I gotta see pictures of this.
Yeah, I don't want to see it. It wasn't a good look.
Yeah, all right.
It was, in fact, I started slipping. The hairline started slipping pretty early, about 18 or 19.
By the way, these Jeff Hanneman type pictures of Chris Kale will be available to Patreon members soon.
Yes.
We'll give it to the Patreon members.
Those from back in Lexington, Kentucky, I know you've got the pictures.
These assholes.
Feel free to post them in the comment section here.
They're just waiting for something bad to happen in your life. Like, I knew he was a piece of shit. Remember when he was looking like Jeff Hanneman?
Yep. Remember this dumbass haircut? So my hair was definitely slipping. And I was watching something with my dad on TV where it was like this older rocking guy and he was starting to go bald, but like clearly trying to hang on to it. And I'm like, like, if you're losing your hair, just shave it off. Like, why are you holding on to it? My dad just goes,
oh no.
I was like, oh my God.
Oh no.
No, even back then, still no self-awareness. I'm making fun of dudes holding on to that hair. And I was that guy. So shortly thereafter, I shaved it off, and I've been shaving it off ever since.
Wow.
Yeah, no regrets. I'm much better. I used to be the guy that would, every time I'd walk in by a mirror, I'd be like, I got to check. Is it?
Really? Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, Trump before Trump was Trump.
Wow. And so you're going to have, your dad's going to be there, former band member.
Yep.
And you never heard anything from that former band member of like, you never even heard through the grapevine that there are people you used to play with who are jealous of where you're at.
Not one bit. Everybody's been incredibly supportive.
I have to believe that some people just are naturally. I feel like sometimes there is a jealousy that happens and you don't hear about it until like something bad happens. But there is that weird thing about like we all, like in comedy, there's been people that have exploded, and then you hear other people go, "Man, fuck that guy!" Like
I should have got that opportunity. What about me?
Yeah, but it's better for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's better for all of us because all these comedians are just selling more and more tickets and expanding the audience, and they're all doing different shit. Whether it's Tony Hinchcliffe or Nikki Glaser or Jeff Ross or Segura or Bergazzi, like they're all finding larger and larger audiences that they're tapping into that are making a bigger overall comedy audience.
One dude that I grew up with, his name was Todd Snowden. Just a couple years ago, I was able to tell him this. When we were growing up, my talent level was like here, and he was the guy that I was chasing, trying to become as good as. I mean,
really?
We would watch videos of Stu Ham, Victor Wooten, and he would just pick that stuff up super easy. So I was always trying to get to his level talent-wise and skill-wise. And I had the opportunity to tell him a couple years ago, hey, man, I want to thank you because you being in that same circle and being so damn good. I mean, he picked up Holy Wars by Megadeth like that. I was just like,
really?
I'm playing Celtic Frost right now in Misfits.
Wow.
I mean, I love that stuff, but it's not nowhere near the intricate arrangements that Holy Wars are.
Okay.
So I was telling him, hey, thank you for making me a better player. I was always jealous of like your skill that you had. He's like, dude, I was jealous of like your ability to connect with people and just always going out there and talking and whatnot. So we were able to kind of give each other, as the kids say, our flowers for the algorithm. And
we fuck this algorithm with all this horse cock. There's so much horse cum and horse cock. We've lost everyone. We've lost women. We've lost any man with a decent sense of common decency.
You know who we've lost? Those who don't matter. This is our audience, Craig. The horse cock crowd.
Me saying a decent sense of common decency has lost even more people. I'm not even making sense.
Yep.
We're losing the educated, the non-educated. There's like 2 people that are following us still right now, and it's both of our exes.
We can only hope.
Holy shit. That is hilarious.
Yeah, it just got real, people.
So
Just got real.
is that guy still playing? The guy that you were talking about?
No, he actually is like a GM for Five Guys down in Florida. Got a wonderful family, a couple of great kids who I think he's probably teaching them how to play music as well. And yeah, he's just a wonderful dude. So thank you, Mr. Todd. Down in, well, I don't want to give out too much information, but love you.
Anybody ever, have you ever heard about a guy quitting? Just said, fuck it. Stop chasing their dream, and it hurt you to hear about it? I feel like it hurts me every time I hear about somebody stopping. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. Why would you stop?
I'm pretty much of the opinion that, you know what's best for you.
Yeah.
So for me to be like, I can understand in my own situation.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, like I see that out of you, but who knows what they need at that point. So
yeah, there's been times when people have stopped chasing their dream, the people who are close to me, and I'm like, really, dude? Come on, man. It's like, I remember a friend of mine who said he was going to quit comedy. I go, dude, it's a hobby.
Mhm.
It's a hobby. And I remember him saying like, oh, I'm sure you think it's a hobby because, you're making a living. I go, yeah, I'm making a living, but it's still a hobby, dude. You know that every city that I go to, I still hit up open mics. I love stand-up comedy.
Yep.
But
I'm the princess is like, I'm not doing open mics.
Really?
I am. I'm like, oh.
Dude, open mics is where you see some horrifying shit.
Absolutely. I can't sit through this shit.
Yeah, you go to open mics, and I just went to one in, I was performing in Appleton, Wisconsin at Skyline Comedy Club, and I was there early to do press. So they said, hey, if you want to swing by for the open mic, I came down. Open mics, you never know. You might see the next George Carlin. You might see the next Sarah Silverman, the next Dave Chappelle. You will certainly see the next person who will contemplate suicide tonight.
And very likely the next person you're going to trip over that's homeless outside on the street walking down the sidewalk.
It's a crapshoot, dude. And I love it. I love the energy of it. I love the energy of all of that. And I just love stand-up comedy. But I just feel so grateful for chasing my I just love stand-up comedy so much. I've been chasing it for so long. I figured out a way to make money doing it. And I get bummed out when somebody stops and goes, the toughest thing that can happen is getting married or getting a good job or having a kid. Because those are key moments in your life where you
not for us though.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. The He-Man Woman Haters Club. Let's go. You also, not only do you love performing stand-up comedy, just over the last couple of weeks, I've run into several people that you got them started in stand-up comedy. Todd Royce here in town for Las Vegas. He's been on Kill Tony. He's a Kill Tony Golden Ticket winner. And he was saying that there was one time he was a door guy somewhere, and I think you were going out passing out flyers for some sort of comedy show that you were doing. And he just saw the potential. I mean, I think you had a sold out crowd Tuesday and Wednesday, wherever this was. And he was just like, my God, like, why am I waiting? Why am I doing the door here? Like, that's what I want to do. So you inspired him.
Really?
And then another comedian, Catherine Blanford, who we'll talk about next week, said that you gave her first hosting gig and was super excited to see it. I loved that moment when I'm talking to this girl, talking about Kentucky, talking about toxic relationships and whatnot. Falling in love, honestly.
Yeah.
Call me Catherine.
This was backstage at the Bert Kreischer show, which we are going to get into in the next episode. Bert Kreischer, there is so many things that happen.
It's going to be an incredible episode.
And we have video.
Yes.
We have video with Bert. I connected Bert to Chris at last year's Super Bowl in Las Vegas. And the surprises that happened when I introduced Chris to Bert is beyond anything you would think.
Mhm.
And then we'll lay out the whole story and how it comes all back around to last week when Bert was in town and Dave Buckner happened to be in town with his wife and one of his kids.
Yep.
And Bert Kreischer, and by the way, there's a weird appearance from Sum 41 in the middle of all of this,
Yeah.
which is another huge surprise from Sum 41.
Derek loved you.
And and there's another surprise after that, by the way. There's a part 2 to that.
Okay. All the teasers. I can't wait.
And then Bert Kreischer gives a speech to a 15-year-old boy that you will not believe.
Yep.
I mean, dude, there's so many layers of this.
Do you realize what kind of jobs are available out there for a 15-year-old? Make sure you check out this week's episode of Beardo and Wierdo. And you too.
You ever jerked off a horse? Dude, you can totally jerk off a horse. You can make like $4 an hour jerking off a horse. You can fucking do it. You fucking do it. And then you jerk off the horse.
Yeah, dude. Next week's episode is going to be absolutely amazing.
Yep.
But
and thank all of you for tuning in. We have definitely been telling us that Thursday is your new favorite day of the week.
Yep.
That you're anxiously looking forward to these podcasts. So we really, really appreciate the support. Help us by liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, all that stuff. We're getting a lot of engagement on the smaller clips.
yeah, it's crazy.
And we just appreciate each and every one of you for listening to as little or as much as you're listening to of what we do here on Beardo and Wierdo. So thank you.
It's been insane. And we have we're going to be joined by a lot of our musician friends, comedian friends. There's
Speaking of Dave Buckner and Papa and the Roaches, I'm going to go see those guys this evening here at Jim Graham with Under Oath and Rise Against. So I'm super excited about that. Hopefully have some good stories and maybe some videos from that. Are you going to that this evening?
I don't know the guys in Papa Roach. I know Dave.
Mhm.
I met some of the other guys before. I thought about it. Last night, a mutual friend of ours, Frank Sidoris, who's an amazing musician.
And the best hair in rock and roll. My God.
Best hair in rock and roll.
Oh, so jealous.
Yeah, man. He's a nice guy. He's just a really good dude. He's such a nice guy that he was able to hook me up a couple of times where I over asked.
You?
Ooh.
Really?
Did I over ask? Yeah. I do, because sometimes you'll be on the road. A friend will say, "Hey, man, I want to come down and see you. Can you put me on the list?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, no problem." And then sometimes a friend will be like, "Can you leave me 4 tickets?" You're like,
How many did you ask for though, Craig?
So Frank knew some people. I had friends visiting from out of town. They had their kids and everything. And I knew that Frank, his family has this theater and a bunch of cool shows happen at. And I said, "Hey, is it okay I have friends visiting from Hawaii." And he goes, "Yeah, how many do you need?" And I said, 8. And he was like, his first response, 1-word response. What would you guess? A 1-word response to, can I have 8 tickets to a show? 1-word response.
It would just be,
Close. A little more on the hot is like that. It was, ooh, dude. Dude. 1 word. Dude. And I go, I know, man. But I mean, if it's too much, and he goes, "Let me see what I can do." And he's like, "All right, I got you taken care of."
Nice. Did all 8 of those people show up to that show?
Yes.
Oh, because that's the worst when you block it out.
Yep.
One of the best things about touring with Metallica is we didn't have the unlimited guest list that we usually have when it's our own headlining dates. So for all the people that were coming up, "Hey man, how you been?
Right.
Just checking in on you, see how you doing." I know what you're doing. That we just announced dates with Metallica, and I haven't heard from you in forever. So to be able to have a very small amount, thankfully they gave us something. They didn't have to give us anything as far as guest list passes. So I'm very grateful for that. But even more grateful that I was able to say no so many times and not feel bad about it at all. I didn't have to worry about people pleasing. I'm just pleasing Metallica. That's all.
See,
not
Chris,
overstepping my boundaries. Thank you, James. Thank you, buddy. My best friend.
Chris is tapping into something that everybody relates to, comedians and musicians, people you don't hear from at all. And then either, for me, it's like either it's me coming to town, or even worse is when I'm doing dates with a huge comedian. And then I hear from people who are like, "Oh, dude, how you been?" Like out of the blue, out of left field. "Hey, what's going on?" Or when a band is coming to town that everybody knows I know people in. And then I start getting texts like, "Hey, dude, how you been?" And I don't reply.
Yeah.
"Hey, dude, just thinking about you. Just want to say hello." Just all of a sudden, out of the blue, they're texting me every couple of days.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's every day. And then, "Hey, shit, I saw Metallica's coming to town. I know you opened for them, right? No response. No response.
I mean, just ask in the very beginning.
Yeah.
You have no idea the amount of texts, messages, DMs, phone calls that we get.
Well,
Clear the clutter.
I want to go a little deeper with that.
Mhm.
There are people that won't talk to you for a long time, then they hit you up when they want something.
Mhm.
Have you ever had somebody even worse than that, which is somebody who hurt you before? Like an ex-girlfriend.
I mean, if I had feelings, maybe.
Let's pretend like Chris doesn't have any
Anybody
feelings.
that's watched the last few episodes and knows that I am callous and have no feeling and no sensitivity whatsoever. I'm a full, much like all of these other podcasts out there today, full alpha toxic male.
Dude, some of most of the responses that are coming from everything we've been doing so far are people talking about when you start to talk about the pain that you've felt in life, in relationships, when you talk about crying and struggling, that has been the majority of the responses from people is people saying, I really related to that, and I really appreciate you being honest about
and
that.
Positive like comments about it. I expected full roasting out of it. I was like,
Because
I'm
that's
putting
what you
myself
do.
out there. Yeah, I do. Yep. Much like you when you were getting sick. What did I send you? Tampons because you're crying like a bitch.
All right. We're going to do a little role play here. You're going to be you. You're going to be you, and you're going to say, Craig, man, it's been a tough time. I've been crying a lot lately. And then watch my response. Go ahead.
I already know where you're going.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. When your friends are calling you, you need to pick up the phone, man, because I needed you. I've been crying and dealing with this.
Dude, I didn't know this,
incredible strife and pain and suffering, and I reached out to you, and man, where were you?
Dude, I had no idea that was going on, man.
Yeah.
Are you okay right now?
No, man, not at all. That's why I want to air it out to all these people.
All right, now let's do it again. Do the exact same thing, and I'm going to be Chris Kale. Now you're going to be me, and I'm going to be you. Wait, do we have any shades?
Right here.
Can I have some shades? All right, here we go.
You look like a Max Headroom that's let himself go. I'm already doing it. Already making fun of you. Hey, man, I just got to ask, like, where were you? Like, I needed you. I need my buddy. I need my friend, my sober circle.
Dude, I was having a tough time, man. Why? What happened? What's going on?
I've seen that now. I felt like such an ass watching myself. I'm like, look at this.
What happened? Are you all right? What happened, dude? You don't understand, dude.
No, man.
You don't understand. I was at a photo shoot. All right. Some shit went down. I'm with my band. We're an arena band. Sometimes stadium. And I was at my arena band. We're doing a photo shoot. I saw that you called, man, but you don't understand. I was going through a tough time, man. I just wanted to fucking break my phone. What happened? Tell me what happened.
Well, man, I was in the most beautiful place on earth. Hawaii.
Okay. Doesn't get better than that. What happened?
I got nothing. See,
just
this is me.
Tell me that you.
It's like looking at myself in the mirror over here.
Get to the point where you say you've been crying.
Yeah, man, just curled up in a ball on the ground, crying for days, and
gay. I didn't do that. There you go.
So
and that ends today's Beardo and Wierdo Theater.
Yeah, what better word to finish this podcast all about horsecocks and semen insemination than just gay. See you next week, guys, on another gay episode of Beardo and Wierdo.
The Bert Kreischer episode is next. Like and subscribe.